The Tesla idled at my gate, air conditioning humming like a warning. "Open it," Patricia Blackwood ordered, her sunglasses flashing the lake's glare. She thought she owned everything she saw. I turned the key in the iron latch, met her stare and said, "Not today." That single sentence started a war. The lake was my escape from everything noisy and complicated. Mornings began with fog on the water and ended with ospreys circling for fish. I'd spent 30 years enforcing environmental law. Solitude was the one reward I claimed afterward. The Warner cabin sat at the farthest edge of the HOA's map, a place most residents forgot existed. My grandfather built the first dock here, and the private road that wound through the pines ended at my iron gate. The sign beside it wasn't decorative, private property, and through access. The HOA loved to meddle. They sent letters about community uniformity, as if trees cared what color the mailboxes were. I tolerated it because peace was worth more than arguments. But when you live long enough under rules written by people who've never read a law, you learn to stand your ground. That summer, standing my ground would mean standing against Patricia Blackwood herself, the self-appointed queen of our lakeside empire. Her entrance was theatrical. Gravel crunched under chrome rims, and out stepped Patricia in white heels and a blazer too expensive for mountain dust. Behind her, a convoy of SUVs waited, engines humming. "Mr. Warner," she called, voice sharp as broken glass. "We'll be using your gate today. My guests need direct access to the marina." I lowered my mug of coffee. "You'll need to turn around. That road's private." She laughed. Small, polite, the way people laugh when they think you're confused. "Community property, Mr. Warner. The marina is for everyone. Be neighborly." I leaned against the fence post. "The marina, yes. This road, no." Her expression froze. Patricia wasn't used to refusal. "You're being difficult," she said finally. "I'm being lawful," I answered. For a heartbeat, the only sound was the lake breeze. Then she snapped, "Fine. Have it your way. But I'll make sure the board hears about this attitude." I watched her storm back to her car, heels stabbing the gravel. As the convoy reversed down my drive, I felt the quiet fold around me again. Thin, fragile, and about to break. 2 days later, an envelope appeared in my mailbox. Official HOA stationery. Notice of non-compliance. Obstruction of community access. A $500 fine and a demand to cooperate in the spirit of unity. By afternoon, the community forum was ablaze. Posts about certain residents ignoring community spirit filled the feed. I didn't need to read far to know whose name they whispered between the lines. Friends turned polite, then distant. The man who borrowed my ladder last month suddenly avoided eye contact. Even Helen Chambers, my neighbor of 15 years, asked if maybe I'd overreacted. Patricia had weaponized popularity, the oldest HOA trick in the book. But I'd faced worse pressure in federal investigations. You don't outshout liars, you outdocument them. I opened the cabinet by my desk, pulling a folder thick with deeds, maps, and letters older than Patricia's HOA career. My grandfather's signature crowned the original land grant. The access road, the marina inlet, Warner Family Holdings, 1892. If she wanted a fight over jurisdiction, she'd get an education instead. The week crawled by in paperwork and planning. I confirmed with the county recorder that the easement granting community passage had expired in 2008. No renewal, no jurisdiction. Then I called an old colleague, Jennifer Walsh at the County Water Authority. "Clayton, if the HOA's using your road without an active easement, they're trespassing," she said. "And if they're collecting fees for marina use on federal waters, that's another issue entirely." By Friday, I'd assembled a neat binder. Property maps, photographs, copies of statutes, every legal nail to seal Patricia's coffin of arrogance. I sent the HOA a calm email. "I'll attend Monday's board meeting to clarify property matters." Her reply came within minutes. "Delighted. Please keep remarks concise and civil." Civility, I thought, was about to become her least favorite word. The community center smelled of lemon polish and tension. 30 residents filled folding chairs, murmuring over complimentary cookies. Patricia stood at the podium, pearls gleaming under fluorescent light. "Thank you all for coming," she began sweetly. "We're here to discuss behaviors that threaten our harmony." Slides flickered behind her. Photos of my closed gate, screenshots from the forum, bullet points about obstruction. She spoke of cooperation, of shared values, of one resident who misinterpreted property boundaries. People nodded like a congregation. When she invited comments, I stood. "Appreciate the floor, Patricia," I said, placing my binder on the table. "Let's clear up those boundaries." Page by page, I unfolded history. The 1892 Homestead Grant, the 1968 Management Agreement, the 1988 Renewal, and the blank space after 2008. "This," I said, "is where your authority ends." The room hushed. Patricia blinked. "That's irrelevant," she said too quickly. "The community has always assumed," I finished for her, "assumed rights that don't exist." Greg Stone, the board treasurer, leaned forward. "Are you saying the HOA doesn't own the Marina Road?" "I'm saying it never did," I replied. A wave of whispers rippled through the crowd. Patricia's voice wavered. "This meeting is about cooperation, not paperwork." "Then cooperate with the law," I said quietly. That silence afterward lasted long enough for everyone to understand what had just happened. The Queen had no crown. By sunrise, the story spread faster than wildfire. Neighbors forwarded each other screenshots of the deeds. Someone posted, "Turns out the road isn't ours," with a laughing emoji. Patricia canceled 2 board events and stopped answering emails. The HOA's legal committee called an emergency session. Greg asked to review my documents again, just to verify. Within days, the narrative flipped. The villain became the whistleblower. The hero became the fraud. For the first time in years, my driveway stayed empty. No complaint letters, no SUVs. Just quiet, the kind that feels like victory. 2 weeks later, an official announcement landed in every mailbox. Effective immediately, Patricia Blackwood has resigned from all HOA positions. No apology, just resignation, due to administrative challenges. But the county investigation spoke louder. Unauthorized management of federal property, misuse of community funds, failure to renew legal agreements. Fines followed. The HOA paid restitution. Patricia paid lawyers. The new board sent me a letter, short, respectful. "Thank you for clarifying ownership. We look forward to working cooperatively within legal limits." I framed it beside the original deed. Proof that sometimes paper beats power. Now the gate stands where it always did. Iron steady. A line between peace and chaos. People wave when they pass. Some even stop to chat. Funny how truth repairs what gossip breaks. Patricia moved away. The lake healed from her noise. The community learned that authority without knowledge is just noise with a title. Every evening, I walk the dock and watch the sun melt into the water. The same gate she once demanded I open now glints gold in the light. A reminder that saying no isn't hostility. It's self-respect. Sometimes, protecting what's yours doesn't mean building walls. It means keeping the gate closed until someone earns the right to enter.